Bruce, please. Everyone, please be seated and please be seated. We're going to begin our second session very soon. We will still have times for you to collect the stamps and to have the great prizes from IAPS. We will still have time, so please be seated as we're going to begin our second session right now. Thank you. Welcome back. We're going to begin our second session, and first of all, we still need to have the rules introduction of Demo Day pitch right here. Okay, for startups from Taiwan, each team you will have 5 minutes for pitching, 5 minutes for pitching, and 3 minutes for Q&A, 3 minutes for Q&A, and later on, if you hear one long ring, that means your time's up for pitching, and please finish your pitching in 30 seconds. If you hear 2 short rings, that means the time's up for Q&A. We will finish the Q&A time after answering the last question. And let's start. Here are our startups and 4 judges, very important. With your scores, we can choose the champion of today. So please evaluate directly on your iPad. And for the pitch sequences, session 2, we will have pressed, Jacksware, bucket analytics, XPure, and swipe call. So get ready for the first one, Crest. Crest focus on ocean and diving sports products and services, especially on high performance, lightweight and athletic style for product design. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to have Crest.
Hi guys, I'm Brad. We're Crest. We dedicate on the diving equipment and products. So we make a diving computer and diving regulators. That product provides all the information you need in the sea, like water depth, temperature, and also the non-decompression limit, which is guarantee your safety in the water. Okay, so I'll just keep going though. Okay, so this product, all the information in the water. That means not just guarantee your safety, also that will make you have fun under the sea too. Is it here? Alright, let's keep going. Can you help me to press the thanks? Alright, okay, next one. So we launched our first product in 2019. We sold it to many different content areas, more than 14, and we also have all the different models and different like OEM partners too as well. So like a partner from States, Japan, and even Russia. Can I have the next page, please? Yes. So let's look at the industry. The industry looks now we have like 400,000 users, like active diver around the world. Looks not big, but most of them they have a really high housing income, like 200,000 US dollars like revenue per year. And also most of them they are house owners. So what that means? That means all of them, like they are the top period of the users. So that kind of user, that kind of market, you will like it. Okay, so like I said, we sold since 2019, we sold to over 12 countries by all the different brands. That's an OEM partner from many regions and territories too. And also, not just all, we just launched our new generation computer last year in October. That's called CR5 with all the different functions and all the like GPS and all the sports function too. We estimate this new model is going to generate about $1.2 million US per year. by all these new territories: Thailand, Ukraine, Egypt, and UAE. And also, we will have a new OEM partner from Latvia, and also from Sweden, and also from the new customer from the United States. They are going to generate about $1.7 million per year as well. And not just all, we have a new model and focus on new territory. We know that the free diver is a really emerging market. The average growing rate is about 80%. Some area more than 200% per year. So we have a new model dedicated on the free divers and also the training and rental market. And we are also have a huge lead this year. We just kicked off and launched a new project called AR and VR on the water. So that's the latest progress we have by far. Can I press the video? Thank you. So all the images you see in the water is crystal clear, not just on the water, also in front of your eyes. And also, we are going to launch a new Underwater 360 project. So think about that. All the content you need to collect in the water, but we have so many users and also with a big community. They can collect all the underwater content for you. Just in a few years, can you imagine how many underwater video content you can collect in just only 2 years? So, we estimate that before about 2025, 2026, we are going to become one of the biggest underwater content providers in the world. It's going to apply to the traveling, media, and also advertisement, even education. So that's a really huge thing. How do you do that? We have a really awesome team. And I personally, as a professional diving instructor as well. I was semiconductor industry for more than 15 years. And it's not my first start, so that means like more failure means like more possibility to succeed. Okay. And also we also know where to go. So we have a lot of users and a lot of data. You can see this dot on the map. The data collected is more than 10,000 dive spots. It's been collected in just 2 years. So we know where to collect data, we know where's our user, and we know where to go. And also, we have a really big community, big power users. So, you just have 500 professional divers, and they jump the water every day. So they can generate about 100 to 200 dive log and also video per year. That's a really big amount of the data, and also the underwater 360 footage per year. That means like we have a really big underwater database. So I'll bring some easy example underneath there. Okay. So let's see the reality about. Sorry, can I go? Yes, it's been really difficult for the past 2 years. I think for everyone, including us, it's been like a really big loss, and we lost our customers, we even lost our users. Because of COVID, so that's been pretty challenging years. But we finally stepped into the break even on 2021. And based on what we're going to do, and based on what we're going to have for the next 2 to 3 years, I gotta say that we are looking more than good 2023 and 2024, even future years as well. So, all our team, we're really passionate about ocean. We all really passionate about diving. Not just passion, we also professional. So thank you. I'm Brett from Crest. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And right now we will start our 4 minutes Q&A. Any questions from judges, online or outside?
Thanks for the presentation. I think you are already everywhere, right? So how are you going to go further expansion, and what's the strategy that you have to expand your business much stronger?
Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, though, we are, like you said, we are not everywhere, hopefully, but we are going to migrate our application, our content and service to different domains. So like I said, for the past few years, we had pretty good result by selling the devices. But what's next? So that's why we came on a new application like AR, VR, and also 360. By using our existing strong communities of users, they can easily generate a lot of content for us in few years. So actually, we do some math before. We just can generate about 500 units of about 360 cameras. We can just give them for free, and they will generate so much data, 360 video for us. So I remember back to 2012, Google spent whole years. They can only make about 10 underwater routes in just 1 year, but we can make like maybe 100 times more compared with them. So yeah.
Hi, Brad.
Hi.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, hi. Yeah. I just have a quick question. What is your ask? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to raise money right now, or?
First of all, I think we try to get more attraction and more like a marketing opportunity by joining the IAPS. But also, if we can have a good partner join us, like no matter not just about the financial investor, but also the surgical partner as well. That might be a goal as well. So I think like I mentioned earlier, we are going to have a new product going to launch. We are going to have a new application launch. They all going to take not just about money, but also the surgical partner to work together. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so thank you for the nice presentation. So I have two questions. So first thing is, you mentioned about biggest underwater content provider. I thought that's a really good concept that you can carry on, but you didn't mention about how you do generate revenue based on so much content you plan to collect. So that's my first question.
Sure.
And second question is, so your hardware advantage is actually relying on location advantage here in Taiwan, the low wage and highly skillful employees. So, I mean, if you, what is your plan to increase your premium, the price in the future?
Yeah. All right. So, first one is the how to generate or how to use all this content. I roughly estimate for the first year maybe 5,000, 6,000 routes on water, and we are going to have the community to verify and maybe, for example, they can mark all the content for us, and they can decide which content we can have like high priority, put it on the platform, and when I use the platform, for example, some dive results, some areas they want to promote their dive results, they want to promote their dive trip, we can put it on the advertisement, and based on that revenue model, that's one of the ideal concept. Actually, that works before. Like I said, one company called Divia, they have been sold to the penny for like $260 million back to 2018. Yeah, so that's the direction we want to go. And secondly, increase the value of the product. I think it's all about the application and software. So it's not just about the design, not about how fast the CPU, something like that. So we are going to co-work with and also integrate with all other different applications, like GPS and like location-based information like that. It sometimes even combine the safety concept. Actually, we are co-working with California Coast Guard for the safety concept, so for the safety application as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Excellent work. How about a round of applause? Our next startup from Taiwan, Jacksware. Alright, how about a little introductions about Jacksware? Jacksware provides sportswear and daily basic outwear with functional and high-tech fabric and treatment. Alright, the representative from Jacksware is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacksware.
From Jacksware. I'm the co-founder. What is Jacksware? We are a brand. We founded in 2018, and we provide activewear, as you see in our stores, physical stores. And we were lucky to be selected as a residential designer brand held by Taiwan's Textile Federation. Last year, we also enter to the HYPE GBA program. What is our technology? Our technology is our fabric. As you see, those functional fabrics from antivirus to conductive yarn. We offer winning design, programming to material development all together into the garment physical products as you see. Those technologies are in the garment. We launched our new future collection. We combine the gadgets, the electronic technologies with our garments. Okay. Oh, how do you feel when you see these pictures? I feel very painful. I have muscle soreness. How can I do? People usually go to the therapists or the massagers. But now, I'm doing this treatment as you see. We combine this together in one garment. In this textile, we can give you all the, we conduct an interview with more than 400 people to see those problems, mostly from the shoulder, low back, and wrist, to give you this therapy or treatments. Those people, they went to rehabilitation, or they bought facial guns at home, or using medicine to resolve these muscular problems. And we interview those groups from athletes to amateur to test our products. And in the videos, you can see very strong vibrations on those professional athletes. And we also consult by doctors to see these effects. And we had good customer certification reviews by those people scored to 75 points, and they gave us strong feedback to say it is very palliative. People say they have very, very good relaxation at home, and it can be developed to more wearable technology. Okay. And in the market, most of the players, they use conductive fabrics, text only, so that is our strength. And we would like to be the wearable technology pioneer in the future. Not only our dresswear brand, but also we open B2B big opportunities to authorize, to use this technology for ODM or OEM. Now, these products is already in the process of finalization by Taiwan's FDA and the patent in progress. And we'd like to open more stores and trade shows overseas in the future. Our executive partners here, we are very looking forward to open this opportunity to work with you. Thank you for Jazzware.
Well, thank you for your pitching. And right now we will start our Q&A times. Any questions from judges?
I have two questions. First of all, have you passed the FDA already?
In the process, we have applied it now.
So do you mean this is going to have your product to be the medical product?
We are not sure, so this is in the definition of the process.
I mean, when you go to apply the TFDA, which means your product is going to fall into the medical class.
Yes.
Okay, in that case, you are not just to sell online. Okay, I just want to give you the advice.
Yes.
You cannot sell the medical stuff on shop or online. It's first of all. And also, I would like to ask you one question. So, I know you are selling the wearable conductive shirt and the device. And do you have any platform? Who is your partner for the platform, for the software? And if any question from the consumer, who is going to take care of that?
You mean the gauge, right?
Okay, you are selling the shirt, you have to get the data from the consumer. Okay, you also provide a medical okay, so you get the data from the consumer. But when the consumer have that kind of data, and then where they are going to send to, and who is going to help them to monitor that? So since you are going to apply the TMDA, give us some expert in your company to help to know what is this for. Otherwise, those are meaningless data. This is my suggestion to you.
Yeah.
Because you did not disclose any solution, because you got the data, then so what? Okay?
Yeah, so that's why we open B2B opportunities to have partnership with another retailer to selling these products.
Please.
Hey, Howard, you have 2 questions. The first one is a technology clinical proven. Okay, the second one is what's your ask? Like, what are you looking for today? Are you looking for strategic partner? Are you looking for investors? Are you looking for distribution channels?
For the second question is that we're looking for partner together to use our these textile technology to work with them to combine together. Not only the textile products, maybe the other products, maybe it will use this yarn, especially for industrial textile, not only for the wearable garments. For the first question is that the evidence, right? The medical evidence.
The result and technology. Are those clinical proven?
The result, as you see in the charts, we interview those are professional athletes, and the certification, especially for the effects, are verbal. So we quantify, we have not yet quantified all the data, but a little bit the numbers, as you see. So for the future, we will use rather than verbal effects.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, sir. And our next is market analytics. And right now here are the briefing of market analytics. Using AI tracking basketball players' motion and behavior on court and analysis of personal skills and team tactics in order to enhance athletes' performance on court and marketing value. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for market analytics.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are market analytics, and we believe we're more than just basketball, or more than just a software company. Instead, we can be the combination of both. And let's talk about our product feature. So basically, we use our AI models to classify players' behavior on course automatically, so that our game analysis could be available in 3 hours after the request or after the games. So on the right side is our visualization solutions to help our customers to more understand their solutions and informations. And now I want to talk about myself and why I opened this business. I'm Andrew. I'm studying statistics and data science, but I'm not seeing myself as an engineer at all because basketball is a huge part of my life, and somehow I'm really thinking about to put my work and my interest together. And there are one more reasons, because my daughter was more or less August. So basically, she was brought up as time as this product business. So I wish this could be a living proof to teach her that don't let anyone say you can't, and always be confident in yourself. So when she grow up. So let's back to our topic. We're now focusing on basketball market in Taiwan from high school to professional leagues. And for student leagues, the market value could reach to $500,000 US, and for professional leagues, it could reach to $1 million and more. We aim to become the professional data provider in this expanding markets, because before our service, we believe normally each team they cannot integrate their resources. So with our products, we believe we can help them find solutions. So customer now only have to contact us, then they can receive the information they want. Sorry. And I gotta mention the potential, because we are now only provide our data to the professionals. But what if we can provide our data to the normal sport fans? Which means we have the potential to get involved into the sport entertainment markets. We believe we have the potential to become the combinations of ESPN and Bleacher Reports in Taiwan's markets. And now it's our business model. Well, we created our own marketing cycles, because normally teams are all affiliated with the league, so we cooperate with the league first. Then we use their resources to promote ourselves, and then that will be our leverage to gain our customers' attentions. Once we cooperate with our customers, then we can build a player database, and then we move up to the next level. So basically, the cycle could be repeat and repeat again. And now we are working with HBL to provide our data, and we ask for brand exposure in return. And then in December, we signed our first ever clients, and just a few days ago, there are 1/4 of HBL teams are on board to the semifinals. So we launched a subscription service for both players and teams. We provide a player analysis based on 5 to 10 game basis, which includes more than 300 sets classes, and the numbers are increasing. And our team reports is seasonal, which includes scouting and team analysis. So let's talk about goal for this year. For this year, we want to validate our service, and for the next seasons, we expect to achieve the total revenues of $100,000 US and cooperate with more than 10 local teams. And the year after, we're gonna work with more than 20 teams, which include local and global teams. And don't forget the potential markets. Once our database is done, we can evolve into these markets. We are very optimistic that our database website can reach more than 1 million traffic per year. And now let's see what we're looking for. We're looking for partners who are very familiar with AI or software development or managing professionals. Or if you're a front office or coaching staff of a team, we are very welcome to contact us. And we are also very open to work with the leagues no matter which level. Thank you. We are about analytics.
And right now we will start 3 minutes Q&A times. Any questions from judges, online or on the site?
All right, so what's going to make you different? What's going to make you stand out than everybody else? You did put up a competitor slide.
Yeah, because in Taiwan, they're not an exact company there doing this in very big scales. Even though they have the technologies, they only focus on professionals. But instead, I know the professional is just a small group of people. And the bigger part is sport fans. And they want to get involved in this sport. So my point would be, I show to professionals that our technique can do that. And then we copy this technique and let every sport fans can get involved. And I believe this is why we can be different.
So let me follow up the question because of do you compare the global?
Yeah.
Because of the business opportunity, so you can benchmark in terms of the opportunity.
Yeah.
And also the chance to go abroad, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe there's a strong competitor in US and then South Asia is not. So for that kind of information will help you up. But I'm not so sure if you do have the answer for those, right? So do you have actually. It's not only Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
So go beyond Taiwan, and then you quickly have some forecast. Do you have that information?
Yeah, actually, I did do some homework or research, and for U.S. company, the charge is very expensive for Taiwanese basketball markets, and then because of course we can be cheaper than they do, and also we are how to say we know more our players than foreign companies. Yeah.
I want to echo the first question in relation to the time advantage from your video analytic technology.
Yeah.
What other benefit that you offer to the sport team or sport media partners?
You mean only for now we provide this service for basketballs. Not only you mean what kind of informations? Like we can
by using your solution.
Yeah, we can. So the visualizations is just as simple. We can not only provide the offensive heat map, but also we can find out the correlation between the players. For example, who often pass the ball to me, and then I can shoot. We can find out the relations between players, and of course the technique in the game. And the point is, of course, that could be manually labeled, but if we can use machine to do that, we can do it in the big scales of numbers and very fast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Market analytics. And our next is Explorer. And right here, right now, we will have the introductions about Explorer. Get ready. I heard it's about the pandemic time, right? It's about the mask we always wear. Wait a second, I have to introduce the company first. Okay, right here, Explorer focuses on PPE to fight air pollution. Explorer Inside Filter, the patented technology with N95 protectivity and reachability. Explorer Inside is used to protect users from pollution, has smart bacteria, and even virus. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the representative from Explorer.
Hello everyone, I'm Alan from Explorer. Can we say that again?
Yes. Even our computer have to do the rehearsal, you know. Alright, so just give my colleagues few seconds to rerun
Okay.
Is it okay right now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So should we restart?
Yeah. I'm Alan from Explorer. Explorer is a brand which focuses on personal protective equipment, or you can say face mask, to prevent the air pollution since 2013, of course, prevent COVID-19 in 2020. In past 7 years, we raised 5 times crowdfunding, over $1 million US. People love us because our first advantage, the Explorer Inside Filter with N95 grade high protection and also 200 times washability. What that means about the washability? It means low cost producing. It means our filter is reusable, it's washable, it's sustainable. Not only people love us, but some corporations do. Next page. Next page. Include the Uber Eats, Foodpanda, Google, Rakuten Baseball, and even some global brand, the Yoshiyamamoto from Japan. Differently, We are the experts in Taiwan. So why I'm here today? I'm here today because we want to go to the overseas. But we know it's not easy to step in the new market. So we need a killer product, a superstar like this. The mask athlete is not just a normal N95 mask. It's a hyper easy breathing N95 mask. It's created for high intensive exercise. We all know doing exercise with mask is so unbearable because the heat and carbon dioxide from your exhalation. But no worry, if you use our second advantage, the X Rogy system, it can isolate the heat and carbon dioxide to drain out. So the only thing you inhale is fresh and cool air. To see, to believe. We make a comparison with the 3M N95 and the Under Armour sport mask. The first thing, we check the temperature inside the mask. You can see only the mask athlete can always keep blue. The blue means cool and fresh. That's the key. That's the evidence about the easy breathing. And second one, we check the filtration. Please next page. Yeah, click one. Yeah. Later you will see the mask athlete. The filtration is as good as N95, but not the Under Armour mask. Lack of protection. See? In summary, we are confident with the mask athlete, even in the world. If you interested to, let's talk about market. There are a lot of regions with a plug issue on the planet. They are all our potential market. And our first step, we will narrow down our target audience to male cyclists who live in plug region. Because this group, they afford it and they actually need it. Once the mask athlete can hit in the market successfully, then we will start the product line extension, include the daily using mask, the balaclava for rider, or headwear for biker. This product we have prepared in past years. And the model could be direct to customer or cooperate with the distributor or licensing, like Gore-Tex. We are keeping open mind because it's all depends on the region and the culture. This is the last phase. Remind you one thing. X-Pure is also prevent the COVID wave and COVID or air pollution. They both kill people. So if you are interested, if you can hit in the market, please join us. It's not only for the profit, but also the charity. You can help the people. My presentation is complete. Thank you.
Alright, so should we start our 3 minutes Q&A? Any questions from judges, online or on site?
Hi, this is Peggy. Peggy from Blackstone from Singapore. I just want to comment that I'm actually using one of the product from XPO, and it does make a huge difference compared to many other masks. My question would be, in terms of what you just shared on the expansion. Currently, because of this Omicron, and then of course with the Delta, in terms of what you have now, what kind of levels of filtrations or level of filter are we talking about? Especially if for folks who still will be going for jogging, cycling, or what about this? Thanks.
Yes. Hey, Peggy. You mean the filtration ability is to reach what level, right?
Yes, correct. Because now, especially, in Singapore, we are sort of allowed to do jogging and exercise, but of course, we'll be much cautious. So I'm just thinking of, like Delta has been around for a year plus. Now with this new virus, new variations there any difference in terms of the filtrations?
We all know the Omicron and the CDC suggestion that we need to update our mask to the N95 grade. About our mask, we have the certification about the KN95. It's similar with N95, but we test in China. But of course, we are made in Taiwan. But KN95 is almost equal to N95.
Hi. Hello. I have actually a simple question for you. There are millions of brands out there right now, right? What strategies you're taking right now to really differentiate yourself? I have the same question for most of you guys here. I think I really admire your courage, coming into. I think I spoke with your team just now. The first thing you mentioned that your company was created not because of COVID. That was great. But right now with everyone coming to this market, what's your strategy to really differentiate yourself? And talking about the benefits of the size and stuff like that. That's one thing. But what's the extra stuff, right? If not, to me, just one of the many brands that I see in malls, and the only thing that attracts me is. I love Star Wars, right? If you have a lightsaber thing across, that is the only thing that is cute, is attractive, or custom made. I just like to hear a little bit more from you guys.
Thank you. I think our strategy is use our killer product, just like I said, the mask yesterday. It's very unique, especially for the X Flow system. There are a lot of chunk of masks, but no one has the X Flow system, and it's a patentable. So it's a powerful product to let us can hit in the market successfully. Then also we depends on the culture. We actually can do some crossover thing. It's also have a benefit to us.
Okay.
Last question.
Okay. I think the mask is for every individual, right? But your last presentation, that is the corporate, right? So can you switch the business model to the government or to the power station to filter the air pollution with your technology?
Oh, you mean not only for the mask, right? Can for some industry.
For the facility.
But it's definitely different thing because no matter filtration or air or water is kind of similar, but in basically it's totally different. So I think it's some difficult gap.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Alright, last but not least, we will have Sweat Pool. Sweat Pool defines the next generation of online dance studios by 3 solutions or advantages, including interactive player, focus on dance and studio integration. Time to dance. Ladies and gentlemen, Sweat Pool.
Thanks. How's it doing? Let me check our controller. Okay, get better. Thanks. Hello everyone, my name is Kai Ming, the co-founder of Swipe. Today I want to share you the next generation of online dance studio. On this stage, we are looking for business partners to go to Japan market, especially in music, entertainment, and event fields. Before that, let me explain why you should focus on dance industry today. Did you have an embarrassing experience when you have to dance in front of others? I did, and I believe all of you guys did. Like a company during the party, your best friend waiting, etc. Remember the awkward and terrible dancing movement? No worry, you are not alone. Actually, more than 52% of dancers have the same problems like you, like me. We're just afraid of embarrassing dancing in front of others. In fact, all we want is how to build up our confidence and keep learning. So,
we will go to the online video platform like YouTube or TikTok to watch and learn. However, it is impossible to learn well due to the traditional video player. You have to notice like learning dancing is more complicated than learning English. So that's the reason why we need Swipe. We make everyone cool and more confident. Swipe has 3 advantages, including interactive video player, focus on dance, and the studio creation. But what is an interactive video player? As you may see on the slide, it is not just a video in the app. You can use your finger, swipe up and down to adjust transparency and get real-time feedback. You can check differences between your movement and teachers. Is that really amazing? If you feel like the screen is too small, no worries. You can rotate to the landscape mode and airplay to the monitor. Also, Swipe will provide AI recognition technology to help you to know the details between your movement and teachers. Just like your best dancing partner with you at home, you don't have to pay $2,000 for a mirror device anymore. Just download Swipe app for free and experience more. Second, you should not ignore the importance of content. Right now, Swipe has more than 100 world-class dancers on the app, crossing K-pop, hip-hop styles. This year, we will have the Japanese legendary dancers on the Swipe, and it will help me to penetrate into Japan market because each of them has more than 1 million followers and fans. Last but not least, Swipe successfully integrated the largest offline dance studio in Taiwan called HRC Dance Studio, which has more than 40,000 paid customers already. They will be our early adopters and the key reasons we can make the break-even point come true. Our business model is subscription model. 3 videos for free, and you have to pay $350 per month for advanced content and features. But the next question is, how we earn paying customers? Well, our high-quality content will attract the trafficking and the user to the app. When the users build up their confidence, they will prepare. They will go to the offline dance studio to experience more. Content, user, and studios will become the flywheel effect to make faster user growth. If you look at the bigger picture, it is not just an app. Swipe had a better opportunity to run the business with IP, fans economies, and events, which is $20 billion in Asia market annually. Today, Swipe has more than 50,000 MAU already and 30% week 1 retention rate. And most importantly, we have more than 2,000 organic shares on social media every single month. But why we can do that? Our co-founders came from different backgrounds, including 70 Live and HRC Dance Studio. I want to introduce Bojin to you especially because he's not only the co-founder of Swipe and HRC, but also the 2024 Paris Olympics breaking competition consultant. Bojin has lots of international resources and results. That's the reason why we can invite world-class legendary dancers to Swipe. Besides, we also got lots of shout-outs from tech KOL, investors, and even IOC, International Olympic Committee supports Swipe. Okay, so we aim to close our pre-A fundraising next year around $1 million. In order to fulfill this achievement, we will go to Japan markets this year and to the whole Asia market. So I will state my slide at the end. So we are looking for a business partner to go to Japan market, especially music, entertainment, and different fields. Thank you for your operation.
Alright, so should we start our 3 minutes Q&A? Any questions from judges?
I will not do dance today. Thanks.
I'll ask the second question. There's a lot of competitors out there.
Sure.
You've seen before. What makes you feel?
Okay. Indeed, lots of competitors, or I will say that indirect competitors. For example, like online dance studio, we have like Steezy in the US, or maybe like the Miro in the US. But Swipe has three advantages, and we integrate each other. So we talk about the synergy. So we have lots of like offline dance studio in Taiwan. Indeed, they will be our competitor. But the key reason is we integrated like interactive video player and also events. Also, we have like dance studio together. For example, when I tell you like if you go to our offline dance studio, for example like a X Rogy360 dance studio, if you buy the ticket, I will not just sell you an offline ticket, but also combine Swipe in it. For example, like Steezy, they only focus on like an online service, but actually we will combine online to offline. So that's the advantage we have. Thank you.
Can you explain your advantage?
Yes.
What is specific benefit to the user? I mean, can I actually, because of these three integration, I can dance better or whatever, you know, how do you benefit the user?
Okay, two reasons. The first of all, of course, they feel like more confidence. Before that, 52% of dance learners, they pay the tickets, but they will not go to the dance studio maybe like twice or maybe 3 times because they lack of confidence. So first of all, this online solution will help you to raise your confidence so you can go to offline dance studios more. So that's the reason why studio wants to cooperate with us. That's the first thing. The second thing is, especially during the COVID-19, they cannot go fly to like Japan, or maybe like we invite Japanese dancers to Taiwan to teach us the advanced dance content. But online service can solve these problems, especially to the experts. So that's the two reasons we find out there's lots of, like, especially we talk about the retention rate. Lots of people not just look at, wow, it's cool. No, they will stay here and they can be the better dancer. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a great concept. But how do you handle like competitions between like two different dancers who are teaching the same genre? Like let's say like you got A and B, they're both teaching like break dancing.
Okay.
And like how does the mechanic work? I mean, you are doing a subscription model per month, but is that open to every single teacher? And what if how do you handle the competition between A, B, and C?
Good question. Good question. There will be two things I want to share with you. The first thing is, yes, we only provide the whole content subscription model from here. But the next step is we want to take reference from YouTube. You are not just subscribe YouTube, but the channel, right? So if I like this teacher or the dancers, I will not Swipe only. I will subscribe these dancers. So I am the follower and the fans for them. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, yes, we have lots of K-pop or the hip-hop dancers, but they have their own branding and they have different styles from them. So that can be like a differentiating strategy for them. And that's want to provide them. We not just want to that, hey, you put your content on this platform. No, we don't teach them how to improve their branding, especially their personal branding. If we will value that the more revenue our teachers get, and the more revenue and more users we have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So cool. And right now, we would like to quickly remind all the judges, don't forget to evaluate on iPad and also on our scorecard, because later on we will have our awards presentation very soon. And right now, it's our honor and privilege to have Monsieur Sébastien Odo, board member at HYPE Sports Innovation and head of sports for the digital division of Canal Plus, to share the topic, globalization of the sport industry. So, do we have Sébastien with us already?
Absolutely,
Yes.
Okay. Perfect then. So I'm, as you said, I'm the head of sports digital content for Canal Plus in France. I'm going to try and bring you a bit of an overview of the things that we're doing at Canal Plus and where the market is going, shifting from a world of channel to a world of hub. Usually this keynote is a bit longer than 30 minutes, so I'll try to go fast in some of the slides, which I think are not necessarily the most relevant for you guys. Towards the end of the presentation, we'll go into more of the stuff that I think are very relevant for every innovation in sports. So keep up with me, please. I started in sports broadcasting in 1999 in France. This was the situation back then. Canal Plus was already the major player. Canal Plus was started in 1984 in France. And there were 3 other sports channels available. Palasport and InfoSport were just launched, and Eurosport was the major player in that market. This is the market that I'm living in today. Many more channels, many more OTT platforms, many more offering, whether coming from the international or from European or French markets. So obviously the market just imploded, specifically in the last few years. If I'm putting a slide in the middle showing you the 2010 situation, there were many much less offering than what we have now in 2022. Which is a lot. I don't know if you know Canal Plus. We are operating in Asia in 2 countries so far, in Vietnam and Burma, with the third biggest pay TV operator in the world after AT&T and Comcast. We have been known since we started in France in 1984 as a very innovative company when it comes to sports. In 2012, we were the first to launch a dedicated football hub in France, which was showing multi-angle replay on Ligue 1 and UCL games. In late 2015, when Facebook launched its live feature, we were among the first, I guess, in the world to use that feature to create a dedicated football show on Facebook for that. And when I say a dedicated football show, I mean using broadcast production and broadcast quality to bring something onto Facebook Live, which was pretty new back then. Everybody was kind of doing things with their phones and so on. We were among the first to really bring a huge production into Facebook Live. We also tried a lot of things on VR. We did an entire heavyweight fight when Tony Yoka started his pro career. It was shown and available live on the Canal Plus OTT platform in 360 VR live. I was showing you a bit of what we did with the second screen hub. A few years ago, we decided to bring the entire experience into just one app. We used to have many different apps and websites. Now it's only My Canal, which we are more and more calling just Canal Plus, since we are transitioning from being a channel to being a platform. And everything is onto My Canal. You can subscribe there, watch any content that you want. We are also a big aggregator of content, which means that you can watch all your Disney Plus things, you can access your Netflix subscription, you can read the press and so on, all through My Canal. Live catch-up, SVOD, TVOD, even pay-per-view, all is available into My Canal. A big part of my job is looking after sports and the overall sports experience that we have within the app. We built this dedicated live sports enhanced viewing experience, which we call the expert mode, that is available in most of our premium sports. Obviously, the premium sports at Canal Plus are League 1, Champions League, Top 14 in rugby, Formula 1 and MotoGP plus golf. Those are major sports that we own in France, so we built this dedicated experience. I'm going to show you a quick video of what it looks like in football. So basically, you're watching the game. If you're on Apple TV or iOS or Android, anything, you press a button, you access all the statistics available, the lineups. We even included the fantasy rating of the most famous game in France. Plus, on top of that, you have the highlights slides available, as well as the timeline that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Our video player can also show 360 VR live. We did the live boxing match, that was our own production, but on every MotoGP race that we have on Canal Plus, we are also able to show a 360 live camera, which is on one of the motorcycles, and it's a pretty cool experience. Take a look. So basically, again, you're accessing the expert mode, and suddenly you are in the middle of the race. The pretty cool thing is that it also works on the smart TV or the Apple TV, which means that you can actually move what you are seeing with the remote control of the Apple TV, which is a very cool experience. The last thing that we did on the expert mode was build an editorial timeline, which allowed us to ask questions. I mean, do you agree with that red card? Do you think it was worth a penalty kick? What do you think about the race so far? And so on. We can bring also game facts, do polls and stuff live, synchronized with the main feed. We rely on LiveLight to do that. They are our partners. We have a very unique way in the market to do stuff at Canal Plus. Most of the things that we do are being done internally. The entire app was designed internally. So we rely on a few outside partners to provide stuff for us, like LiveLight, which is what we look at for video clipping. We use Screen Data Service, which has a product called IntelliCore to integrate the data for us. And then everything goes through API into MyCanal and the expert mode. But the entire app is really only Canal Plus code. So far we've been doing pretty well with the second OTT app in France after Netflix. We are really growing very fast in terms of the percentage of our subscribers that are using the app. It used to be like around 50% like 2 or 3 years ago. Now we're up to more than 75% of the subscribers actually using the app every month. I'm going to go a bit quick on those slides, but it's to show you how quickly the market is shifting from traditional linear television to the OTT business overall, not just in terms of sports. I mean, if you look at the TV viewing, obviously it's been going down. If you look at the demographics figures, obviously the young people spend less and less time watching TV. It's mostly an old man stuff now these days. TV is really now relying more than ever on live sports. Basically, linear television these days is pretty much live sports because otherwise it's been steady decline. If you look at the figures, I'm sorry, it's very European and US centric. But if you look at the figures coming from the US in terms of ratings, in 2020, the 50 most watched sports telecasts in the US were only sports, and not only sports, they were only football, American football, the NFL, and college football only. If you look back at 2011, it was about 50-50. You still had a lot of comedy award shows or reality shows and so on. Now, pretty much linear TV is being kept alive by sports. And TV is still actually the main device for sports. If you look at those figures, it's still 64% of the overall consumption in terms of devices. But if you look at, again, the demographics, it's showing you that if you look at the football fans, for example, if you are getting younger, you are spending more time online than in front of the TV. The problematic issues for people like me that are in the sports broadcasting business or the sports OTT business is that the Gen Z is less likely to identify a sports fan, which is a big issue that we need to tackle and that we're going to need to tackle in the next few years, is that we're going to need to provide and to identify content that will make them more likely to watch sports as non-sports fans, which is probably telling you why Netflix is doing so well with its sports coverage rating. The sports ratings have been hit hard by the pandemic. It's slowly getting back to normal, but if you look at the viewership figures for all the major sporting events in 2020, it went down. It went up a bit in 2021. So I guess we're getting back into shape. We are seeing, we've talked a lot about the cord cutters. We should talk now about the cord nevers. People that will probably never have a cable subscription or satellite subscription in their life. 35% of the 18 to 31 demographic have never been cable subscribers, which is impressive for somebody like me who basically built an entire career around cable and satellite. Not surprisingly, the money spent on TV ads is going down, and the money spent on mobile advertising and other types of advertising is going up tremendously, reaching TV levels in 2018. So we are really transitioning, as I said, from a world of channels to a world of apps. That's the market that we are in today. OTT is everywhere. The leagues are providing their own experience, like the NBA, MLB TV. The leagues are sometimes striking global deals with media companies like the PGA was done with Discovery, launching golf TV on a global basis outside of the US. We've seen, pure players coming like 11 Sports or DAZN. DAZN is buying BT Sports as we speak, the second major TV operator in terms of sports in the UK, so it's a huge thing. Amazon has went big into sports lately, specifically in France, where they bought the biggest and the most premium League One package. League One is the major thing in France, and Amazon won the 10th best game of the season so far this year and for the next 2 years. So it's really an entirely new world that we are now. Traditionally, sports was more driven by the main consumption. It's changing quickly for the better. So you see that 80% of the women now describe themselves as sports fans. 63% of sports fans are interested in paying, which is good. So we'll still be able to make money in a few years, even though that piracy is still a big issue, specifically in France and in Europe overall. And an interesting case study, I could show you what we did at Canada, but I think it's more interesting to look at the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN, which is really transitioning very fast from TV to platform. ESPN Plus grew 66% to reach 17.1 million subscribers. And basically it's replacing slowly the traditional subscribers that they keep losing year after year. If you look at the overall subscription level on pay TV in the US, they keep losing and losing subscribers. I mean, AT&T lost almost 2 million subscribers in 2020 in the first 2 quarters, which is huge. So OTT is taking over. So if you look at the consumption in the US, it was 9.5 hours per week. It's now 18.9 in 2020. So it's doubled in less than 10 years. So it's very interesting to see that, again, the market was pretty much the same from, early 80s to early 2000. For 20 years, it didn't change that much. And suddenly, in less than 10 years, it shifted completely with being driven by the OTT business. Another thing that we need to tackle is that athletes are becoming media themselves, and actually they are much more powerful than media. I mean, if you look at our Instagram account, we're not the biggest media company on Instagram. We have over 200K subscribers. We are developing fast on the platform. It's hard to compete with Kylian Mbappé. The guy has more than 62 million subscribers. So obviously, it's a shift also. 20 years ago, the athletes had to go through the TV to reach the fans. It's really not the case anymore. Again, a huge shift in the market. A few take from my side, I think the TV will survive as a device. But in the end, if you look at what's how the consumption and the ride of the OTT consumption is being driven these days. I mean, YouTube, for example, is getting more and more traction and more viewership coming from the big TV screen. And as in the past, it was more driven by laptops on the mobile. And these days, with the help of smart TVs, Chromecast, Apple TVs, it helps YouTube reach a totally different demographic and being much more powerful on the TV device as well. So I think as a device, it will survive. And we are transitioning from being linear-centric to being OTT-centric. These days, we are providing slowly the OTT experience to all our boxes. So if you own a satellite box from Canal Plus, you can reach and access the same experience as the subscribers who is watching this programming through the Apple TV, for example. So I think TV as a device will survive. I think the overall experience, engaging with your friends, your family, watching a big event all at the same time, if you look at all the watch together features that have been launched with the OTT platforms like Disney Plus or Netflix, it shows you the power that live sports has, where everybody has to watch at the same time. That's something that is very, very powerful, and I think, again, that will help us to make money in the coming years. In my opinion, I think second screen is social. I think at first, when the OTT really started shifting the economy in the live sports broadcasting, it was really about building second screen experience and not disturbing the main screen experience. That's what we did at Canal Plus. We launched the Canal Football app, we launched the Canal Rugby app, and the Canal F1 app. They were launched as second screen app. We discovered a few years later that everybody was using that as a first screen experience where they were at home, they were using the app to watch the party or to watch the football game. And really, the second screen is being on WhatsApp or being on your social media or Twitter or anything to engage with your friends while watching the game or engage with other media and so on social media. So I don't think it's wise to try to build an entire experience as a second screen when you're on OTT operator. Let's focus on the first screen. Personalization is a must these days. This is something that we are working hard at Canal Plus. If I'm a rugby fan, I don't want to be disturbed by football notification. If I'm a basketball fan, I want to be targeted with only the news from the team that I like and the team that I dislike, and so on and so on and so on. So I think if you are not able to personalize your entire experience within the app, whether it's automatically through AI or using information coming from your subscribers, two ways are good. I think it needs to be a bit of both. I don't believe in doing totally one way or the other. And now, probably the most interesting part for you guys. I've been in innovation for quite a while. I've been a board member at IAPS from the beginning of the company. I've seen a lot of startups and been surprised most of the times by talking with startups that were building very, very good products that were designed to help with the sports performance, help with the the coaching in sports, or help with any type of areas around sports. And when I was talking to them, obviously with my background, I was 100% of the time thinking, well, we could use that in broadcasting. So I'm going to tell you a few stories of how broadcasting was actually a very good output for some of the innovation that were not built to be used in broadcasting. TrackMan is a very interesting story. It was basically people that were designing military radar. They loved golf. It was built in Denmark. They built TrackMan. Awesome story. It was used in coaching. At first, most of the golf coaches were very, afraid of TrackMan. I remember doing a feature story on that a few years ago because I come from a broadcasting background. I used to run all the golf operation at Canal Plus as well, so it's a career that I know pretty well. It was designed to help golf coaches, track the ball and help the student play better. TrackMan completely changed the way golf is being broadcast today. When Fox bought the right for the US Open in 2015, they immediately put TrackMan at each tee boxes to basically show the tracking of the ball. Golf had been broadcasted since the beginning the same way, which was, cutting to the ball, in midair, also camera work, but you usually don't see where the ball is going. I've been a golf announcer for 15 years. That was the hardest part of the job, was trying to figure out where the ball was going when you had a mid-air close-up shot of the golf ball, because you don't see where it's going. So Fox was the first to rely a lot on TrackMan. These days, it's only about TrackMan. You can see the shot is being shown through a 3D rendition of the hole and with the tracking of the ball on top of it. So in a matter of 5 years, TrackMan changed dramatically the way golf has been broadcasted, which is very interesting. And obviously, it's a good business for TrackMan because they are selling a lot of TrackMan to the outside broadcast companies that need to, because on each tee boxes you need 2 TrackMan, because if the player is teeing off on the left side of the box or on the right side of the box, you need to be able to track both the entire length of the tee boxes. So you need 2 TrackMan per hole, 18 holes per tournament, plus the spare parts and so on. So they are selling a lot of TrackMan through that as well. Plus it's the best advertising ever for the device. Something that we did at Canal+. When we started getting bigger in boxing, like 5 years ago when we had Tony Yoka after the Rio Olympics, we decided to get it back into boxing, which used to be one of our big sports at Canal+. We obviously looked at what we could do in terms of innovation around broadcasting. We discovered this company called PIC in France. They were basically designing sensors to help the people practicing boxing, help them with their training. And we thought, well, it's a very small wearable that go into the glass. It's going to give us very good data live coming from the professional boxers, so it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, a lot of hurdles, with the officials, some of the boxers who didn't really want to have their live data or their power shown on the air, but we did a few fights with those types of wearables, and it was actually great to see your analyst, your public is telling you that, well, this guy hits hard. We all heard that in the boxing match before coming from the public. Now you can show actually how hard he's really hitting, how many punches he's thrown, and so on. All of that through the wearable. So it's actually a very good story of, again, something that was absolutely not designed to be used in broadcasting, that ended up being the best tool for us for innovation in broadcasting. Very interesting story as well. Another story, AI tracking. A lot of companies are doing tracking through wearables, through camera in the stadium. I've discovered a few years ago this company in France that were trying to do tracking through the regular TV feed. And they were basically working and trying to work with football clubs to help them, because obviously if you can track through the regular TV feed, you can have a club, track something when they are not playing on their own pitch, because obviously in your own field you can install the cameras and track to do the tracking. Or if you are using wearables, you can track your own team at home and away, but you cannot track the other your opponent. With that type of tools, you can track everybody, everywhere. You can even use tracking on all the games. We tried to do that, for example, the 98 World Cup that France won, to look at, comparing the impression that we had at that time with actual data coming from the feed. They had no idea that it was actually a good tool to be used in broadcasting. But these days, if you want to add layers, on top of the regular feeds like we have shown with the expert mode, having somebody who can track, identify the players on the pitch, put live data, provide an automatic heat map or anything to add a new layer on top of the regular feed is interesting. And again, another company that was not targeting broadcast as an output when they started their business, and it's actually a very good thing for them. The other thing that we're going to see in terms of broadcast innovation is the end of the world. I've been saying that for years. I think it's happening now. When sports started to become more and more global, they had to do the world, which means trying to build a feed that could fit the entire world. Obviously, people, in the US, in France, Singapore, in Taiwan, everywhere, they have their favorite race driver, their favorite player. They are more interested in, for example, in Formula 1, I'm more interested in seeing what Ocon is doing in 20th place, but what Hamilton is doing in first place, specifically he has a 20-second gap in front of the second. So one size fits all in terms of feed doesn't work anymore. And this is where all the innovation that your guys are building will help us build basically dedicated feed for any target that you want. This year on the Players' Championship in golf, we added 52 additional feed on top of the regular feed. We provided every feed per group, so if you were the only fan in France of that player, you could watch that player because we were offering 52 different feeds. This is going to be more and more widely available because of the help of AI, automated production, remote production. The costs keep going down, so you can provide more feeds at the same price range. And it's going to be a huge shift in the market in the years to come. Obviously, you needed OTT to provide that type of experiences as well to your consumers. Otherwise, it was only one feed, and hence the world was the main thing. Again, VR, something that's going to be also very interesting. We're going to talk about the Metaverse in a second, but I think VR used to be like a gadget in some ways, very good gadget, but I think we are getting ready now to build more and build more immersive experience, whether it's with VR, like being in a virtual stadium suite, or with AR. This is a French company called Immersive, which is building very cool stuff in terms of AR. It can be usable in front of your TV. It's even better when you are in the stadium and you can access basically information on the player that you are watching because of the AR headset or through your phone. And if you look at this data, 7 out of 10 users want a more immersive experience. The ultimate immersion obviously will be the Metaverse. That will be for a totally different keynote, but I think it's going to change drastically the way we are showing sports. It will probably target a lot of new demographics, and on top of that, it will allow probably new players to be competitors with the regular traditional sports broadcasters like us. I could see, gaming companies after all the Amazon and the Apple has been set to try to buy MLB rights in the US. We're probably going to see many gaming companies try to bring sports experience within the Metaverse, and obviously we've seen some stuff in Fortnite and all types of small Metaverse already existing. Links into the future of sports broadcasting. So it's going to be very interesting what we're going to see in the coming years. I will not show you this video. It's about the Metaverse. You guys are as geeky as myself, so you already know that the Metaverse is going to change the sports broadcasting business. That's all for me. I managed to stay under the 30-minute mark, I guess. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. You can add me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to have a chat with you if needed. Thanks a lot for listening to me, and congrats on all the startups today. That was very, very interesting.
Monsieur excellent, ça c'est magnificent. Okay, and right now we would like to express our gratitude to all our judges as they just figured it out who's going to be the winners of all awards. But first of all, we would like to learn more from their feedbacks. First of all, it's our honor to have Professor of Global Master of Business Administration of NYCU, Jim Sun Kong, to be on the stage to give us the feedbacks.
Experience to be a judge in this program. I mean, when I joined this program, I thought that I want to give comments. But whether I learned a lot, not from all these startup teams and the mentors and fellow judges. So that was a great experience. And this cycle, for me, I thought it's quite short. But I'm really impressed by all the teams, how much they improve in this short time. I mean, most of our this spirit, this entrepreneurial spirit, it was really contagious, the passion, perseverance, and also courage. They try to tackle challenges on their way and try to find out the solutions for that. So today, actually, I brought my teenage daughter to get infected by this entrepreneurial spirit. So I hope that all of us can have it today. So although every team has a bit slow different barriers, I could see that all the teams could achieve, great improvement in this, the short cycle. So I hope that they can be luckier in the future, and I can see their name in Taiwanese maybe stock market IPO in a few years. Yeah.